so Ghana de Shimaima Yamamunyina aha eba TV XYZ so Power FM na face Radio XYZ Brasson and Samaudo edia him yamaimo and yesi hu adwa de beso se awia prem to bre akan Kasiebo ye kam se Kasiebo ye so freedom Kasiebo a e twa ne ho ewo Yafle stations ahodo no emo obeti bi ewo Volta Power 94.1 ho and what Global FM ho Sharp FM takrade and Shoma 92.1 Krakwanta Buema FM o Jessica Jenyame 107.7 Sampana nanom 92.5 of Goso Western Radio ewo Lembele KFM o Pasangligi FM Bole Rich FM ewo Sinfo so Trinity FM 96.7 ewo Bogoso High Radio so ewo Becheboti Radio Wempa Sampa Widi FM ewo Posiga Bono FM Osunyani Loud Silence TV ewo Nkran NFS USA Sunset FM also wama somo wato Kasiebo epetie yennuan mo no ne enso asom ewo Radio SM online and watching Apple 68 FM ewo Virginia tunu no eye Power 97.9 FM Daisy Radio ewo Italy Adamfo Pa Radio ewo Paris G Life Radio UK OPD Radio so ewo UK myxyzonline.com NFA multi TV no eye Digi Boss Radio XYZ information centers and so dodo no asomu a wato Kasiebo epeti ensemwa ye de ebesum wono edoso pa de demu akotini bi enie anam ma so twene ntoko akwaso awoboku nti enei ya soma drone sankonko sa kudie bi a hyentemo ebetimi ayie pie bedom ne ase wei ebetimi aboa masumdwema pa ye hwe no yensaka ewo boko ni mpatem Canada na musini ewo mai emunei wa bowram ewo mampani ya to ba yi no yera John Dramani Mahama ni office a wakoka entri kwasem agune so saso Analodina Foundation so akoya doye ama inyanka bi a ewo oman Ghana mu na dom kuma ewo mai mumra shebedwam so chese ni mu ya ho behia say ye beto safro so afo ye ohwe ye mumasua so san say wa ye keke da hono enyasem ketwa saso ana Commissioner General de Ghana Boundary Commission and so adin bi atudade na oka honsem obeti Kasiebo yi emu mra shebedwane e wodi nkunim ewo shai osudo kwa baso besua no so wodi atudwa chese NDC ba wo mabai eye mpontunwuma ko a ene bekoso saso ana diaspora kokoso so ade atudwa chrem se NDC se Ghana fo nyina ewo gidi so mehwe amampuntu atimi akoso Lower West Achim Municipality Assembly members ya wo mo ho de adesrade akoma yera John Dramani Mahama se pediya wodi kunim ewo mrahye konya na empesua so no wo behia se wo benya appointment when nsamudo bi a yavoavo no se pram to bra Kasiebo a yade ababa somo ewo awiabre emu na Kasiebo nyumeku ahudo bi na asuase a yade abramo ye Solar Natural Clinic me pa cho sebra na kidney ho nsam enei ebi ana ohaw bi aba kidney no eho ana se liver ho nsensem anampo aya won ho sem odu na ka cho behwa aboaw na watimi anya hoden panti bia wo bia no bra omo doctor fonim de omo nimdru enso mra sayade no ade amount from our 0553 932 631 na Solar Natural Clinic amboaw ohunto apomudemo na watimi agina nanso abadwuma saso ana hola Savior Herbal Clinic eso ekutiemu akase no yade ebrem ose bia wo de diabetes anase stroke saso ana bia nkuda bi adaw na ho enkoda ni nyina ko mehwe ne fempo eye madwo bi eda nufunum so mehwe na omoye for sebe na yakokram embedu nya omodyan so beko eye hola Savior Herbal Clinic no matimi aboa omo ashaman omo ne Access Bank no na edi anumhwe from ewo eye 0576 6566 58 na so momboa empa ndupa bi emanom na tu yade asesa so na natural mineral water ebo echidom ekutiemu de dendia yade Kasiebo yi ebro me pacho wo pensu krogianom ensu abenom na nkofo yade bia mbrewa mesrewa natural mineral water eno ninsu papa onya binum a ebetimi aboaboa na siesie ntimi pacho bro nya dwumadi bekoso bia no hwese wo de natural mineral water ebesum abusuafo saso ana tonsu wa traffic mu shop mu a onya natural mineral water ne bi esanse sa manfo pani je ho eni ntuton akoyie pa obenya bi ato melcom shop bi a eben wo obadwuma kom anso a eye SYZ taso benya bi na wato adi akwakoton na kodi udwuma me pa cho fresh 0596 273 546 bebi a wo bia no ne duduo mu no ya di nsuo ne bi nso ebebro wonu nwumeku ahodre bi na asuemu akase ya boaboa no a ya de babesom eye me
ekuya krantema ana afi
da chema akosia oforiwa amanfo
ya to ansam no so na ya hye ase adia mama na ya nyina nim se nature se anya dia asomrofi adwoma kraman anya dabre wo bokune mpatema sanse ntokwa ekoso na ntokwa no akwakoye no fo behwa na se abafom obechi adechi na chi adegum se dia boamu bi ato no na se adehye etoto wo ntemo na we na se be na se aya asumdwei be ya adwumenti no impanyimfo ahwe ba monsam so bomode a omudi drones ekọ eye ntemo akwahwe se be bia obiade akodia ahye no ombetimi ayi apie na etimi aboye nyinanim se eye mampanya oba abendwemu ade atodwa akirem se de ekoso boko no ehu benya pasa Ghana de hye nyina no beboa na yetimi asia no kwa anyasa nipa bi atutrasem adi omutirimu ma na adi omutirimu de metimi afasa akonya no so abo awura Ghana abedi atutrasem ade hayen ntina se no no eye ne a ehu nya pasa betimi ahwe na aboa na asumdwe mapa ye hwe na etimi akoso boko ne mpatem na adehye anya asumdwe atena se aye adwuma sadia ese efata na sansem intu ne behwe na yebusa se entokwa isori no mbambo adwuma kuo no impanyimfo adi omonim aye hihya wodo bebre nanso ententam na drone wei ene betentam na yenko amano so ne owura Anthony eye akwai enhwe nkomo ne yemusa ne se anamontuei no ebeboa ma asumdwe mapa enso aba boko ne mpatem ana opanyu so timenka memwa ha emu akwaba esamu afrisha pa
mejo so minepa kia
do na yankoda nko sori a amanebo ne se ye di drones akọ eye boko ne tietia ne so mkohwe na bebi a akodie bia wono atimi ayi apie ye bi sese sanomontue no ebetimi aboa ema etu ahodo atemamufo di asiesie na bribiom toto ekuam ho ho no yetimi ayi dodo na apie ana
ina ba kia na minche wete fu na area bere na mamenka si dembe deployment of technological drones no oyado bobo Ghana money uzande mi heba boko oil profit every month bialo you're spending 6 million into Asia afenimu nyina no you're spending almost 72 million from the national security corporate. Them 72 million in them be what they are about there. A soldier for only police for the joint police and military operation. Why a surveillance? What time to carnival? Now, why a patrol? We move from one end to another. Now, what should there? Nipa bi couple to there okoko bi atade couple to ko bi aba na ni na oyisika oye petrol de bia no den enti se we put in baby na yewu there dem petrol na wo waste ni na no e wona wo ya threat actors a woman to kwano koso no wo so wo monitor oye police for ya soldier pa wo ye petrol no na wo monitor one kasa so wo movement. So what ba west no one which is one up east what ba east no we move ko north into them not to that in on the application of the drone obobwa o send the drone ne boni say we program drone ma obanda adasa kwana drone onam the quality of camera only image quality no or to take a very good picture. As a plana, zone bottom picture, and our video or picture on a more okay. And apart from that, in the plano, say almost a room now one or a forest planner. Drone or to capture. Now only one okay there. Some ammunition, you know. At the same time, almost what we call the red time intelligence. Don't let me catch her. Now, almost for full woman, or the security agencies who were there. The meeting around this time, the man coffee one am ha, walking the now, Oma, police for on your soldier for what to why the rush one party them, I could not to them, and at the same time to arrest them. Many about me, the national security, me more your agenda will deploy drone. Even though you will not know what belong to the human rights fraternity. Over there, drone with disadvantage, in terms of ethical concerns, about to breach, the right to privacy. Today, the northern sector, piano way by a game. Another battles on into what you do now. APR will coach you be not the gap. I see, we don't have any option. We don't have any option. We need to deploy the drone to make sure that and for what Shemina, what can take it? Putting a woman to Quano Consuna at the end of the day, down the Yabacono. Those drones will capture them and to report it to book.
Okay, Ntino na yani adehia nso atwe nkomono ebi mu kirem se embra omo hye bambo yi nhihye ase a oboko ne mpatem no wanya nia edikan ade drone bi abantem ho ne edikan no ntimi anya adwuma bia enti we no ebetimi ama program na na say security issues no aye successful e ho ana
Remember me no kese nyanka said menim the specific drone at the moment you will deploy compared to the earlier one. But look, there were high quality drones apart from the use battery, there were other ones who use solar. I can't about 24/7 or 360 security approach. And she said the money in Nala and machine in Nala, the drone can still operate. And meaning say there are other quality drones yet to programming. And for Funanka one data. In this case, one hour Bakuno, so long as a Yawa Ghana card and those data information, you go to the program what you want to Obipiawa or stay in Bakuno, we can program that person's name. And I would deploy drone. Let's take the armor, drone, but which the top could be able to go with Piano, drone about to capture, no I'm sending information about you. It's Minia, say Kadia. Said drone no use currently or the modern drone and minima yet to program it and coffee one day we're gonna to monitor one wherever the people go. I can tell you say I had no madam talk about to consequence what for phone crowd not to get to me trust crana or what my bomber what for phone crowd not the miss can I spending 60 million every month we can at least reduce that money.
That's no kwani approach no kwano ko ebetimi afaso na yama ntokwa na befo na isan say omo bia ntokwa no enam so omo ba no anase ntokwa ne ba no omo nya adwen say omema sumdwe ayadwuma drone no say beko but entimi solve issue no sadia ya hwehwe no.
Remember, drone or a supporting measure. And if you get to know the security architecture as a car, the joint police and military, personnel and all counts. Also, the physical monitoring in addition to the drone. But at this very moment, you know, a meeting can make a drone I hear you, or the modern drone I know there. Then we are yet to see a lot of good things. Because, like I said, modern drone, you see, we take the data of Obipiawa over the same, catchment area, I must say, if for the drone will start moving and be taking those information. Now, what I'm a security agencies and the police go on soldier for war counts, no about arrest. Unless they drone, it is not the modern drone alone. And again, or your modern drone, mama here by up, there, you program it. Kusasifo, no, you judge, Mampusifo, another you program it. Mampusifo, ne, Kusasifo. It is a mapusi in a program in the drone. When you may put when you like to drone, not go and monitor. No, yes, we say, oh, yeah, there. Mapusi, if you are wired, then what will program another way, the Kusasi will program in the drone. It is why the modern drone, yeah. Although be power all the attachment area, within the Baku enclave, although the programming on the drone. I'm a drone with somebody will take the surveillance or be power, or keep the armor. The top will be the drone will monitor the person and send a rare intelligence to the security agencies, to the security men and women on the ground. No, I can't me pano.
Ra Anthony akwe yebada se onya bre na oni yan akasa e wasansemi eho nyame enhira opa yeda se na abusuafo openya motene nka ayo openya onim de oba mo nsem ho a yane no atwe nkom na enyina nim se bako nsam na naye endro nko etu akasa nipa mienu afemu ahwera mo nkore se ntokwa ne de enim se sebio waje ho atochema kura na se bibia ya hyewa yetimbo eku esanse ndro nipa ba ko mu ku ne sebe busuan se nadwen kura nhyeda enye steady ese nadwen ho atochema akra na so no yabo ne tu eku na se ntokwa hye ase na ya hwe kura no nipa dodo ese yabo mutuo mako se eku mo no beye aduasa enum ene se ndro ade kan a enti ene ne ya hwe se drone no beko na atimi abo ye mpa ne se ebeboa na asumdwei enso atimi akoso elbokore ne mpatemo
Mampania yato aba ayino yara John Dramani Mahama efrebre ya enkunumdie kase ekọ adema no empanifu ahodo dodo no na sabre wom ekọ ne nase na wom ekoka enchi kwansem ede ema no Canada nam seni ya wono ewo omai emo eye excellency Mariam Montrat enei wono so atimi abo anan akopia mo ewo yera John Dramani Mahama ne office a kyeresen sam dodo no a na akoso uyi nu sinkyanya empanifu ahodo ya wo eframa ahodo so na sabre no wonyina ntri kwansem ahodo wom eka edema yera John Dramani Mahama eno achi na yemame Mariam wo kyerɛ mu sɛ wo hwenkunumdie ya akoso enu a eba bebo ma man Ghana empotu dodo no a atimi akoso ne titiri kura ne se yenya oba pani otoso mienu eye vice president a wo ye oba ya wo omai emu no wo kire mu a ya de papa pa ya no eba beboa ama omai Ghana ye ka ema se ye de wonum ehye amamuo mo ama mamuo atimi atumpa wa kire se Ghana ye tiasie ye ya ye de eye adwuma etinei no wo kire mu a eba beboa ma Ghana democracy ka be mami ka be amamuo so no atimi akọ enkan eno achi ne yera John Dramani Mahama so ensem dodo no a na wode atudwa wabre ya wone empanifo ehia ye kọ ahoma ne so na ya se ye benya wisdom hede jome wo so esanse wono na nani di sa ensem we nyina achi na empanifo hodo asabre wom ebo nan ekọ yera John Dramani Mahama ne nase no emu enkomodie no wode asom ye wisdom mema wakwaba Yo, sabre no yenya ne ntia se he excellency Maria Montrat ne empanifo ahodo bi wo matimi abo anan aba yera John Dramani Mahama enase enkomodie ben na ekoso nsem ben so na wo ede etudwa ewo ho
empene bi kan no ene high commissioner miensan na aba his excellency president elect John Mahama asiye aba betiano na no mu ne se Russia first no the senator kind no her excellency Mariam Monrat ya no the Canadian High Commissioner to Ghana ano the kind ebaye his excellency John Dramani Mahama na komodidi mu no sem o kan no the NSA Russia se agriculture any nyama ekoso me wabi hiata se Ghana basically collaborating with the Canadian embassy and the Canadian government. Na to media cost in agriculture value chain. Actually, akudie. Enuchi osanso kase. Oshe women empowerment. NSA Ghana actually to aba first two vice president. Idea the papa. You don't say me na abwa Ghana na me amanse na enuchi osanso shemu say. Ade ba kwa ha adwen pa no eni se ne ne ukọ anase amaihodo aba Ghana no ye be ka se start se ka abai etiama njuma iko no abai entia no so no ha adwen pa nso se excellency John Dramani Mahama ba on share na onsi wa enyama no ano kwan eni ti John Dramani Mahama da tuka se ade ba kwa dodo na eka no eni operation recover all loot. Good one I say witch hunting committee by His Excellency John Mahama. It is never for witch hunting. Name they gather evidence. Now boy corruption perception index and I say corruption cases are one. Actually also now and the Mexican ambassador Norman Sanchez or also about His Excellency John Mahama about Edichiano and Sana Mekakano. the Hungarian ambassador, and also about His Excellency John Dramani. But answer and Her Excellency Mariam Montra, the Canadian High Commissioner to Ghana.
The other piece that you mentioned was with respect to making the environment more welcoming to businesses. And I think that's important as well because there's lots of opportunities. However, people seem to be afraid of coming to the current environment because they feel that it's not going to be very easy, it's not easy to navigate, and there are other factors that may deter them from like coming and investing in Ghana. So there's lots of work that we can do together in order like to really encourage companies to actually come and settle in Ghana. When we are talking about the investment pieces as well, I do think that one of the things that would be helpful is ensuring that companies are being paid on time, because that's also another factor that has been like a huge deterrent, having like to fight to get like the money that is being owed. So something to keep in mind as things are evolving. And I think that you're absolutely global health, the agriculture, Canada has lots of expertise that we can lend. On the mining energy front, we've been working with the Volta River Authority. There's been some talks that have taken place between the Northern Alberta Technology Institute.
You're not the only country to raise the issue of payments. I met the American ambassador, and she also raised payments to international companies that have done work. You know, I thought that government treated only domestic companies so shabbily. I didn't know that it had extended to international companies. But she gave us a list of American companies that, you know, have done work and not been paid. I don't know if they are Canadian companies, but if we get that list, then we can keep a focus on it and see how.
And on the mining front, it's also about protecting the interest of those companies.
Yes.
So I was talking to some of the companies, and because they fear so much about the security and then their investment being jeopardized, some of them like are even thinking about exiting and going like to countries that they feel like will be more safer and that will protect their interests more. So something to also keep in mind. Because there's lots of opportunities, but the environment also needs to be conducive to.
I can assure you, High Commissioner, the environment is going to change. Yeah, Ghana is going to open for business again. You can see the devastation that you know mining is wreaking in our environment. How do we put in technology for reclamation so that we're able to restore the land back to what it was after mining has been completed?
Wisdom what men can say no and no Jumadi and sign as if at we yamami dear sin China and penny for do boy a break quanimono. Yes, ready Musa Wamoso Ebabahuana.
Aside the three high commissioners, the Canadian High Commissioner, Mexican High Commissioner, and the Hungarian High Commissioner, His Excellency, the other meetings will be held in camera for His Excellency. But which you guys said, I have a idea of putting anything about international companies that we did not ever grind or my Ghana about into Kaya Yadia, was how on par and the business environment was share taxes, any other components of doing business or Ghana. I had hard Junior, but it was His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. They're almost running in on the 7th. One should not only the bedding of doing business or my Ghana.
Wisdom, ya better say, Mawani any chema, Yamani Boni, wisdom had Jome and Yetening King.
Yatwa and Samno Asona Lodina Foundation, Ayekua Yamamia, as a first lady Oba. Sekua wate ebua sebeye na dioma hudo bebetimi akwaso wakwakoye adoye stronko ade ama enjese nyanka ewo osu children home saso na Christ Faith Foster Home ene so ewo adenta wakwakoye adoye de wenye mse bro nyeba na se edu sambre na se nkwara sabe omodidie ni ade akwakoye den se be no bata ne bebi etifie omonsabe koma no saso ena ose nipa na se nkwada ewo Foster Homes ni ade nyanka fie no ewo se etimi eboabo manunti ene maami etu anamo ya wakoye adoye stronko ade ama mo na maami ahedwumadi ase beye mfirihia aduonu ni akini a ni nyina afie bia so akohweboa se benese eye nyankafo sa no omonso omonsa betimi akwa amano enya no nko na so ye onasanso ebo wurewura sabi nkurase nkito mu hwe se ayaresabia na afe eye mbia schools ni ade ebetimi akoye nti no behwe na so akobia ayaresabia wa ha akosibi e wa ha ni nyina no ode bua se benese omanfo sitremu betimi akoye ade ama obibia sanso ana ochrem Salodina Foundation ebainum wa ye adwuma awo manga na fa na nyina eboa na ti se empuntuo atimi akoso nti wa chrem se sade akwe no awo se sambro bia nso nhwe se afia so ana se bronya ebe no ye betimi aka sabi nyanka ni nipa eni bia ni omotifi eba akoma na se ni mo area ba akon na yetimi aboa mo na dwumadie no achi no na owura edu amo akon ye manager Emma Christ Faith Foster Home enso agina mpanyimfo ni nyina nemu ada omampanyi yere ase siwatu anamona afibia so no komo ebeye address ronko ade mom nanti no dia wa ye die mpaebo ne so mbebo ade aka na bribia se twedi ampon ba na dom na bre ne bra no so betimi anya bisa ade abo nkwada ewo sabi nyanka fie ni ade no mo so omowire ne omani entutu engugu omonsem
West Africa Education Council waye kanas West Africa Examination Council waye campaign for sabre no wo mo de nsema hodo bia beto dwa ya wo no ebo sobo wo mo kire se WASSCE sohwe ya afi ye mofra no ekokwa kire ye no ebe pebo ne eka bi shaban ne to a wo se wo de emom se ne be ya waye ke no anase sohwe no results no wo betimi a release ediama mofra no na mofra na hunu de oyiye na mpo esukuu no ento aso na wo se wo mo eto aso a wo mo ahwe atusa anamo no wo mo echemu a sika ba ye 100 million Ghana cedis ena sabre esefata se aban no edeba se ne be ya waye kefo nso exams no anase sohwe no ne mark na se bi omde ba bonten no ebetimi ayadwuma wo mo ababan ituja ba ebepem ne sika no ma ya fi no so ko awieye eno aka ho bia ma dom kuma ya wom ewo mamu mrahye bedwafie pani ba ko a wono eye ranking member ema education committee no wono wanyafo Peter no chikotai wode atodwa ya wo sre mrahye bedwam chiame pani wabre ya mrahye bedwan ekọ asetena ya wo sre se di manim ya eho behia se wo beto nsafra osofo ya ohwe oman Ghana yesika sam eso ne mpo osofo ya wo hwe ehomahia so ewo maimo na wo mabọ mamu mrahye bedwafie no mabet die ntia yensu ku mofra kwotro sohwe ne bepem na ye kasa ye nche bia afi no ekwa wieye wontimi ntue sika ne ma waye kefo na wonfa resource no ema montene eti wo sese ne manim ya mrahye bedwam chiame won beto nsa afresa mpanifo mienu no mo be die ntia wo mo yesa na ni manim ya mprempre sa sika no a waye kefo eka ho asem no 100 million Ghana cedis no won enfamra na wontimi emwa market sohwe no na wonfamra montene so se ne be ya mufra ne dache ebetimi akọ enkan ensem yi ebeto odwa no aka ho bia ma oswafo a wo hwe ye nwumahia so Dr. Yaw osai adutwum wode atodwa wo kyese asem na ha dwene pa abeto mo na so e no won behwe na won atu ho na mo na ni manim ya sika no atimi aba
current national challenge facing WAEC.
Honorable members, let me hear from the minister who just walked in whether he's in the position to give a brief to members before I allow others to comment on it. If not, we will give him ample time to do so. Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I need some time to review the document that has just been handed to me. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It's just a very simple statement about WAEC being owed some money, which he put at 118 million Ghana cedis. Maybe your attention has not been drawn to it. If it's just now you are getting it, you may need some time really to inquire before you come back. But we have only up to tomorrow when they are supposed to release the results, but without the payment, the results will be withheld. So it's a matter of urgency. What do you say to that?
Mr. Speaker, I understand how urgent this is. I'll make a call immediately to WAEC, and I will apprise the House of the developments regarding this important issue.
Enti Dr. Yose Duchum ena Mr. Speaker ebisa no sa asemu abede dwani obedwasre de wo so for hwe mumasua so anamo ben ena butu ede afa ho wo chem se o edi manime ya wo behwe no mde totoye agu akwam na yenkonkotie wa bre ya committee no wo mu raise sa concern yi e wo mrahye bedwafie ho a na wo mu kire se sa eka wei ena ababeda oman eso.
Mr. Speaker, currently there is a serious financial challenge facing WAEC with regard to the conduct of the 2024 WASSCE, post-examination activities and the release of results. According to a press release by WAEC on 19 December, WAEC stated that the Ministry of Education was owing the Council the sum of 118 million Ghana cedis. The effect of the delay in the release of funds to WAEC is negatively affecting their mandate in several ways. WAEC has to incur high costs of conducting examinations because materials cannot be procured in bulk and in advance. Also, WAEC is unable to pay examiners in time, and it is beginning to lose experienced and seasoned examiners.
I wonder why ministers should be asking for time to be able to brief this House if they have actually released money to WAEC. Mr. Speaker, before we rose and came back to Parliament, the Education Select Committee with WAEC had requested a meeting with the Ministry of Finance for us to put things in order. The past 3 years, the ranking member of education has always gone to the media to ask that the minister releases funds for WAEC to be able to give to the markets and whatever. Before normally they will come and release half or maybe at time 3/4 before WAEC releases funds.
If WAEC is this broke, why has WAEC sublet this service to a company to make money off their backs? I receive this random message frequently. And even though I do not have a ward in any such level, it's of concern to me because my constituents have to cough this money so they can check their results. I think that it would be fair to ask the minister to also check this whilst he is on the earlier request made to him, so he can provide answers to this question that I've also added to the submission by Honorable Nochukotwe, who is the ranking for the Committee on Education.
Wey committee members ya womo eda education committee so ewo maimumra shebedafie na yate womo nkanye ne questions no womo toto ne esoro sa no edema wosofo ya wohwe ye nwumasua so se o my God na ebra ye womo isa ye mofra atimi akotro so hwe na sika wosenka banyi edekọ na wotimi emake so hwe no na wode ho esunsuanso ne bamontene so ne ehunu mofra ne modemmone wo mkan kro ne mpo se woto nwumasua so a watimi atusa na mo no ebepem nne sa sika no egusu ehya ban no to a akwakwa ye ohaw wosoafo hwe nwumasua so ekoba se wo behia sika ewo man Ghana ye nwumasua mu a wo mbebɔ ne tujasa wo mfi egisa wo de bamontene so beka kire yen sentrofo ema ye ka ho ansabasa ansa no watu ho na ma no kura no mfa ne nyina ma okua bi na kire se wo no makwakotua wo mu kire mu se ehadwene papa mofra no wo mdaache na kire se ye didi agoro ewo man mu
Yentuaso na yanko aye ensembu from na se Commissioner General Edema Ghana Boundary Commission Major General Dr. Emmanuel Wakem ayekotia ade nsembi atudwa na wachire mu se neno se bill bia ewoso mu hwe ade omunsa hyase eboa na mudwumadi awie mu di no almost repass and paying from boa na sa dwumade no entimi embremu emomo eno aye Ghana Boundary Commission Bill 2023 eno mo ye na so bepem no enya de etimi de nsa hya ase ema no ababa ye mbra ade amomo na no eno panyi ekasa kirem se nyame ya dom na sa bill no ebe ye mbra ebo madwuma ebe ma adwuma mo ye nyina no eni amansemu die nyina so afa pepepe o se best international practice eno na se ebe koso ade amomo na wasanso akirem se so hwa na se bia ntawantawa ne ade ebe koso ewo hyehyɛ so ga manya ne Ghana ebo hye so de nyina so no ombetimi ahwa tuni ye na aboa ensema Major General aditudwa no ebi enie.
The act also strengthens the Ghana Boundary Commission to be able to work with its neighbors or to collaborate with its neighbors so far as boundary demarcations, settling of disputes, amicable settling of boundary disputes are concerned. And let me say that the law has strengthened the capacity of the Ghana Boundary Commission to be able to undertake these tasks. The functions of the Commission clearly, there are three main functions. Traditionally, the Commission is to demarcate land boundaries, delimitate maritime boundaries, and then secondly, to undertake cross-border cooperation with neighboring countries, and the third, which are considered the most important one, of social intervention in the prior border communities, to intervene in the prior border communities. And the Ghana Boundary Commission has started a lot of work in these areas before even the bill was passed, and we are very elated that the bill has been passed and the strength, the power has now been given to the Commission to undertake its work.
Na we ayan sama Major General Dr. Emmanuel Wakum aye kutia aditudwa ewo chese dwumadi ho behia pass Ghana bill no omde omensa be hya asem na hye bedwafo bedi dwuma na timi aboa amoma ho de ni tumi a ombe adwuma de pepepe de aboa ye hye ensam no eso.
One manyafo Linda Akwele Okulu wano enimra shebedwani ojama de se ya won ewo shai osudoku abato empesua no eso afi yakoto aba no wasan edi enkunim ebio na wode ato ne manfo anim se ne enkunim de ya asan abaso bio no wonhwe anim se empuntunwuma de wo ba abeye bi edi ama wo manfo no pa wode sansem wo nyina to dwabre ya na woda awurade ase ya okopiem ewo dodowa na kire se wo bo dwadata na ase wode ma twedi ampo nyankopon ewo nkunimdie kase ya eko edema no emu
Tony wadala ni mo ma de lejo wa ke le chu mama Johnny ke ni chu papa ni le chu wa NDC ke cha video ibe sure ka ma da si here mama Johnny Tony yala ma de lejo ibe ni esipue mama sure ka ti o so ni wa party ni wa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, a president Ghana, Manima Deleko, development you want a land national Sudo, while in the map and no, last sooner. Only the study was pressure, was solid. You want not favor, name His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, no, amen.
Enwachinu communications officer Edema Manyokoi ewa shai osudo kwa bato mpesua ne so nwanyafo Dennis Nate Ajano wano so de tuja ya watche se yera John Dramani Mahama nkunimdie ya akọ ede amano no eyempunso ena omanfo ne enhwe nimu se ebeba wano masetenam.
Based on the good policies that the NDC outlined, we believe that we are going to make it, and we are wishing His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and our new Vice President who are yet to be sworn in on the 7th of January. We believe that the policies that we have outlined will go through implementation stages, and the hope that the people have in the NDC party will be outdoored. We believe that the mandate they have given us, they are not going to disappoint them, especially when it comes to Shao Sudoku. We know a lot of youth are looking up to us for employment. A lot of apprentices are looking up to us for employment. A lot of drivers are looking up to us. The Okada riders, they are all looking up to us. And we want to assure them that a lot of drivers are looking up to us. The Okada riders, they are all looking up to us. And we want to assure them that given this mandate, we are not going to disappoint them. We are not going to turn our back to them.
Is yet Nate Ajano ena yate ne nke nkunimdie nkwana wo hwe ni mu se yera John Dramani Mahama nkunimdie ya abano ebekoso.
na yembo hwemfi ani nkyeremu ewo eye electoral commission akache sanse yetu abawie mmia ya hodo bia mrahye bedwa kwanwa manso ne ade abaso no ene oma friendsem twerofo nhiem a omo kyerɛkyerɛ nsemu na yenkɔ na dia commission eka no yentie bi
where the collation was taking place, and this directive was to them to besiege the constituency collation centers. It is important to note that the collation in all the centers was proceeding in accordance to processes enshrined in CI 127. The presence of hundreds of supporters who besieged our collation centers brought proceedings to a standstill in a number of the centers. These supporters destroyed pink sheets required for the collation, as well as results collation forms in some areas. In some instances, they vandalized and destroyed the desktop computers set up to collate the results electronically. Additionally, and sadly, they beat up our staff and threatened them with death, and ultimately brought proceedings at the constituency collation centers to a halt. Citizens of Ghana, this is the reason why the collation in some constituencies could not be completed prior to the declaration of the presidential results. It is important to emphasize that the collation in all centers were proceeding in accordance to lay down guidelines as enshrined in CI 127 before the supporters entered into our constituency collation centers. There was therefore no reason or justification for the call to supporters to besiege the collation centers. That call, in the view of the Commission, was calculated to disrupt the processes and mar the seamless and effortless electoral processes that had commenced from the start of the polls at 7 a.m. that Saturday, the 7th of December 2024. In the view of the Commission, the directive to the supporters to besiege the constituency collation centers was targeted at destroying documentary evidence, that is pink sheets, ballot papers, results collation forms, and computers, and to erase and wipe out all documents to be used for the collation. Thankfully, the perpetrators of this act did not fully succeed in their efforts, in that a few of our staff were able to retain some of the pink sheets and the results collation forms necessary for collation. Since then, as you all know, the Commission has tried to complete the collation in some of these constituencies. We have been faced with resistance, threats, intimidation, and the destruction of our properties. Our staff have been threatened, and the established collation processes as guided by law have been disrupted, and winners have been declared without due processes governing collation being followed. In a number of instances, our staff have been threatened with death and forced to declare outcomes without adhering to the processes governing collation. It is instructive to note that the Electoral Commission has held discussions with the Ghana Police Service and has requested protection at all centers at which the collation was supposed to have continued. Unfortunately, as we have witnessed on TV, images have emerged showing our staff being threatened and made to declare results stemming from incomplete collation processes. Unfortunately, this has been in the presence of the police. Though the police have been present at all the collation centers, the supporters of political parties have managed to gain access to the collation centers and have disrupted the collation process. This state of affairs occurred during our very first attempt to complete the collation process for the Ablekuma North and Okaikwe Central constituencies. Due to the threats faced by our staff and the disruption of the processes, the Commission agreed with the Ghana Police Service to relocate the collation centers from the Ablekuma North and Okaikwe Central constituencies to the Greater Accra Regional Office at Ridge. It was agreed that each political party would present 2 agents, and the political parties were notified accordingly. In spite of police presence at our regional offices, the collation process was once again disrupted and taken over by political party leaders and supporters, and the results declared for both constituencies without due process being followed. In the case of Okaikwe Central, a winner was declared without collating results from 31 polling stations. In the case of the Ablekuma North constituency, a winner was declared without collating results from 62 polling stations. This is unacceptable. It is important to note that the declarations made by our staff were made under threat, and the Commission considers this as illegal. Those declarations, as well as others that have gone on in other constituencies, will not be upheld by the Commission. Dear citizens, it is for this reason that the Commission met with the Ghana Police Service once again to re-examine the nature of the security arrangements being provided by the police. The Commission was desirous to protect its staff as well as its electoral collation process. Following the engagement with the police, it was agreed that the Tesano Police Depot would be used as the collation center for all outstanding collations, including Ablekuma North, Okaikwe Central, Tema Central, Domikwadenya, Nsawam Aduajuri, Ekwetia, Fantiakwa North, Suhum, Tejiman South, WASSCE East, Ahafo Ano North, Ahafo Ano Southwest. The political parties were duly informed once again to nominate 2 agents per constituency to observe the collation process. Unfortunately, the collation process for only 3 constituencies were successfully completed, and they are Akwetia, Fantiakwa North, and the Suhum constituencies. The returning officers in all the 3 constituencies I have just mentioned were allowed for the first time to carry out their work without interference. This enabled them to complete the collation and declare the true outcomes of the election. Though the collation for the Sawam Aduajuri at the police depot was well advanced on Thursday, the 12th of December 2024, the parties agreed to put the collation on hold until the following day, which was Friday, the 13th of December 2024. Unfortunately, the collation did not take place in spite of the presence of our teams at the collation center, that is the Tesano Police Depot. This was because the Ghana Police Service informed the Commission that their intelligence reports showed that party supporters were planning to besiege the police depot. They thus advised that the process be discontinued. Ladies and gentlemen, though the Commission was determined to complete the said collation processes in the 9 constituencies on that Friday, the 13th of December, it could not do so without the assurance of the police. In the absence of that, the collation process planned for that Friday was called off in the evening, as mentioned earlier. The Commission is of the view that had the process been allowed to continue, we would have successfully concluded the collation processes and declared the outcomes of the election by now. In the light of that development, and as a result of putting the collation process scheduled for that Friday on hold, the Commission once again met with the Ghana Police Service on Monday, the 16th of December 2024, to agree on a new date. At the meeting, the Commission proposed Wednesday, the 18th of December 2024. At that meeting, the police indicated that they could no longer provide the Tesano Police Depot as a location for the collation process. It was agreed that new locations in Accra and Kumasi would be designated for the collation process. The actual locations and time were communicated to the police on Tuesday, the 17th of December. The police assured the Commission of its full cooperation and readiness to enable us complete the collation processes. However, later that Tuesday, the 17th of December, the police, in the letter to the Commission, indicated that once again their intelligence reports had revealed planned arrests by party supporters for both Accra and Kumasi, making it difficult for them to guarantee the security of the collation process as earlier planned. This has put our efforts to complete the collation process at a standstill. It is important to note that contrary to the narrative that the Commission staff have not been ready, our staff have been fully aligned and ready and poised to complete their task. Indeed, all our teams from the regions, the Eastern region, the Ashanti region, were all at the Tesano Police Depot to carry out their tasks and to bring it to a completion. And this has been, their readiness has been in spite of the beatings and threats they have received. I must note that they have been, in spite of the face of the beatings and threats, they have been determined.
Na achese inhihye ahodo Electoral Commission ade egu akwemu na motie nyina nimsi akwato abe no mrahye bedwa akondwa bi ho a se eye manso ho ehonsam na se jemansa achirechiri mu anamo a omatu ho ne nia achese omoye ho ebi na matie nsanso nkwana yemfa de akanto aso.
Your courage and your resolve to do the right thing in the face of death threats. Your courage has encouraged the majority of us to keep going on and to keep doing what is right for God and country. As a commission, we have always maintained that our mandate is not to make anybody a president or a member of parliament. Our mandate, as per the Constitution, is to carry out credible, transparent, and fair elections whose outcomes guarantee that the choice of the voters as expressed at the polls is upheld. This was evident in the just ended general election which took place on Saturday, the 7th of December 2024. Indeed, the process has been hailed by world leaders and by both local and international observers as credible, transparent, and highly successful. The Commission is keen to ensure that all the outstanding processes in the 9 constituencies follow due process. It goes without saying that what happened during our attempt to complete the collation process in some of the 9 constituencies is unlawful. As indicated, the Commission will not uphold declarations ensuing from incomplete and unlawful processes. And these include in Sawam Adwajiri, where parties, of course, on election day besieged the collation centers and brought the collation there to a halt. As mentioned, the Commission tried to complete the collation process on Friday, the 13th of December. However, when it got to 100...
Not just a way Amania Electoral Commissioner, Mami Jane Mensa editor job. Na press conference ne oyeni nei sawaye bidada na no fia de twam sasem kroya of France am trofo editor job. Na ne nyina ne se amba ye to ye mia wodo bi wo hatema central ka ho do me kwa benya ka ho ne ade no o site se eye election se dia ababeto dwa se nipa bi declare mo no official se ko ye dwuma Electoral Commission dwumafo no omo se omo declare pa enye omo pem eno mo declare sanse na nipa bi e de o hye eto omo so a enam so no mo declare ntisa mia wodo na ya de omo gituma ebe ye so omo ngintumu commission ne so ongintumu na te se san mrahye badwa akonwa no minim se fe ne be collect ne fufuro se fe ne be to aba fufuro eno so na commission no o kyerkyere mu sa na o kyerem se emra abato ne mansotwe eba bi ho na mo ya nhyehyɛ se bia party awodo ne nyina fo na musifo mienu mra na mo ko kyerem police training depot ho enko collation no manso ne se de nipa bi afre se omochitafo mehia ho no eno akam na se dwumadie ni nyina no ayebasa na fe aposifo no krase da bio omo ntimi mboban amadwuma no ento aso eni nti na se ni nyina no omutwa aso a bepema na collation ahoro no omo ntimi anyeye na se no ne nsema jemensa eka se mbia bi wo abato no nsunsuanso no enya de omo gitum esanse omo afa kwampa so collation ni ade ni nyina no ntimi anko se de omo hwe mbremu no eni nti omo gitum a enye ye ho nsam ne amane bobi ena se ode ababetu dwana mirafi se bia se eye 2020 oka se abato a eho aba manso emfa nkọ court dia minim ne mbra ofre se bia commission no timi atintim omo ba ye dwuma eho amane bo kakra eno na se be gina no so na de na se ama boafo a esoemu na ye de Kasiebo yi ebrem ebi eye Roman Rage eye Chinese clinic osuemu ise kasie no ye de ebrem osebra na se stroke bi aye de hye bi fa ne ekosa so na komayare diabetes ne wachi mirabu ya oya ne nyina kwa omehwew na ho atimi ato saso na kidney ho nsam so no omudi tintima papa oni sema ombetu asekora adiama wo nkre ha ya Roman Rage eho no wo oni India High Commission no edi animhwefre no awo 0546 540672 na no enkasa na osi oye adwuma duada kopum eye fiada saso na mmenda nopa anopa na ohwe kopum no mienu so no oye adwuma du obehwew na ho atimi ato ye kama
Prostafit capsules a draw ya why your question ko eso ediama mema oye bema na se wotime nkan na se o prostate no pese eniema etimi ekonkan edema odia a draw ba ko pe beje wo eno ani Prostafit capsules o memena ema wo ejina brane ema o mensem no bia koyi edwunso twamu yade a eha wo bema ye de rubber ato bema emu no Prostafit capsules no ebedi wasem ama womo wo Zipman capsules ho o say we eboa ma mema no wote de pa ye ewo niema bebre emu etu ye bema na se opese ugina brane ema mpaso grodie do niema etimi konkan a eye Zipman capsules na ebeboa wo solak mesha no infection bia ya dokro wo ni padua ma mema dra wunya bi na se ono no mo a eboa tu ni nyina se ema ni padua no enya hoden mapa edupa wa nyina enya naga ha pharmacy shops out etwe hwahia ubegna biato na mom no open dodom dia na wa Solak Natural Clinic for 0245 616028 0245 616028
na yamfanto etiefo nim se abranti wa bi epe baby atena yadwuma baby asabi otena na so mbadwo no ede ayadwuma na okyerem se da no nya bi wo metayeko latabi okochi mamobi mamprobi dansoman kamara ana fe banana nya nani ebejo pa no pe eye chemme ho self contain na hai enti esresa wo bi a ubetimi afre 0534 717973 na mum ohia agent bia enti efiru anuma mo wodan ewo miamia hodo ambo so no sa wo edem bi sa ewo ha na wafra branti ewo 0534 717973 na se wonya baby atena ayadwuma kama na asum so adwono ewia de shima ye begina we so na ewia pramtebra Kasiebo e de besmo TVXYZ so Radio XYZ power 97.9 FM so no ye de nyina si aseda enkoma news team ni nyina ella na afen so no eye amapoma checheku e de news team for ni nyina ofa bia wo mo yoma fam de boy de ebesmo Francis na Elvis okọ eye MCR so a Peter ene eye mrante ni nyina so wo mo yoma fam de boy ya ye de Kasiebo ebesmo ye so a
yetena se esom ahwie yi eyemme da chehima akosia oforiwa amanfo mene
akuya krantema yakramo